And welcome to this round 17 match here at Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, in what's the top of the table clash between the Mindil Aces and Hellenic Athletic Football Club, our newly crowned minor premiers or champions of the league here in 2020. My name's John Dean. I'm joined by Pedro Stefanidakis for the first time in our coverage here today. For those that don't know, Pedro, a very accomplished player himself, was an Australian schoolboy back in the day, had a career down with Sydney Olympic, I believe, as well, or Sydney United?
Sydney Olympic,
Sydney
mate.
Olympic in the old NSL, but these days plying his trade up here, coaching, giving back, working with both the NTC program and also with the Northern Knights. He'll be giving us his expert insights today, so welcome, Pedro. Great to have you along.
Thanks. Great to be here, mate.
Look, in terms of the match today, for those watching around the country, humidity is hit back into Darwin. We're in the build-up now to the wet season. So far, that Kane McAdams actually just fainted, the Hellenic goalkeeper, in the warm-up, so the match will be delayed by a couple of minutes while that's attended to. I hope he's all right, whether they get a new keeper or he starts there. But we'll go through the pre-match now for you. And I guess from both sides, it's an unusual start. They're coming off a loss, both Mindil and Hellenic. That's the first time both of them have had a loss in the same week in this season. It's only the second loss all told for Hellenic.
Yeah, that's
with
right, yeah.
The 2-0 loss last week. They were crowned premiers, ran out a fairly second-string side getting things right, but they'll be looking to bounce back today. Mindil, on the other hand, had a very high excitement game. 5-3 it ended up against Azuri, but they'll also be looking to bounce back. Both sides not at full strength, out a few with injuries and a few with suspension. But if you're starting, I guess, on the Mindil, the home side of the pitch today, what are you looking for from Dan McCormack's men?
Oh, mate, to be honest, I just think they just need to settle in the first 10. Obviously, it's going to be warm out there. And basically just hold off for a little bit until they settle, and hopefully we see a good game.
Absolutely, mate. And on the flip side, for Hellenic, the big man, Simon Bell up top, he's led this Golden Boost race from, I think, the first week of the season. If not, it was the second, and he's been overtaken last night after Chris Aquara put 6 away. So he's one in front on 22 with Bell on 21. You've got to think that he's the key man to put the ball in the back of the net today for Hellenic.
Yeah, look, Belly's had a really good season, he's just been in the right positions, the right time. Hopefully he puts one away today and make it interesting for the top lead of the goal scorers. Absolutely,
and should he get at least one today and go joint top, Azuri actually play Hellenic next week, which makes for a tasty shootout to finish the season on top of that Golden Boot race. But with that, we'll leave you now with the holding graphic and come back for the kickoff here from Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, in just a few moments' time.
Young Geekus. Chris Geekus.
Where's he from?
He's from the 19s, yep.
Welcome back here to Darwin Football Stadium for this 4 o'clock kickoff between the Mindil Aces, currently in second place on the ladder, 32 competition points. Immediately behind them is Azuri, who had a fantastic win last night in the first match of our round 17, the second last match. 19 and 20 were played midweek to make up for the COVID period, up against our new crowned premiers in Hellenic Athletic Football Club in first place on 40 points. As I just alluded to in the pre-game, we've got a late change here for Hellenic. So in goal for them today will be Chris Geekus in the black strip. It's about 30 degrees out there and fairly high humidity for this time of year, so black's an interesting choice, but he's had to come in very late for Kane McAdam, who has fainted in the warm-up. But running through the team for the Hellenic Athletic Football Club, who are in their traditional blue and white strip and will be running right to left in your first half. Up top in 17 is Simon Bell, 14 is Ross Bilius, 2 is Thomas Kalitzis, 15 is Marco Martino, 7 is Matthew McAdam, 4 is Espoir Mushigero, 5 is Dexter Newman, 3 is Joseph Niembo, and 16 is Joel Powell, moving forward from the centre-half position into that holding midfield role today. Meanwhile, running left to right in the first half in their black and yellow strip, with in goal number 1 is Arlo Race, number 7 is Charles Ariku, number 4 is Taiki Kudo. Both Ariku and Kudo playing all 18 games so far this season. They'll be looking to round out their perfect cards. 6 is Mario Kuakunen, 14 Tavian Ludvigsen, the captain in number 10 is Kane McDowell, 8 is Matthew Mifsud, 3 is Tanu, 15 Johnny Pencho, 13 is Will Reeve, and number 9 leading the line is Christopher Reinberg. And with that, I'll welcome back again Petro Stefanidakis, and we're just waiting for the referees to come back out after that slight delay for the medical situation that Kane McAdams in. But what does this sort of delay do to you when you're ready to go, you're primed, you know when kickoff is, and then something happens like this? What's the focus for both sides at this point in time? As you can see, they're just stroking the ball around, and Coach John Francis is talking to some of the Hellenic players in the middle. Oh,
first of all, JD, it's a big loss. McAdam getting out for the game. That's just unlucky with that. Mate, I think the coach will be out there just trying to settle them and trying to get their heads right for the game. Just basically get them just settled, mate. And if you're in this situation that Geekus is in, where he's coming into the game at next to no notice, in goal is a really key position. He's probably not going to have a great deal of work to do, but what he does need to do, he's going to need to do well. Are you having a chat with him, telling him to settle down? Are you trying to get a few early passes to him if you're in that back four, get him on the ball, get his confidence up? Yeah, young Geekus, he's played a few games with the seniors. I think he's come off the bench a couple of times. Mate, he's a strong lad. I think just once he gets his confidence up, he should be fine. Yeah, he's certainly a tall unit. Yep. They're not bringing a short guy off the bench. And that bench today is very young for Hellenic. So there's a number of players not featuring today. Alex Turner still being rested with injury. James Ruston Woods, who missed last week after an accumulation of yellows, suspension, also out today. I don't think Hellenic have actually won when he hasn't started, so they'll be looking to make sure that stat doesn't hold true today and get back in the winner's circle. And Munya Raparagunda also not featuring on the team sheet. So for the Blue and Whites, it's a very, very young bench, and we'll go through that a little bit later on as we look to get things underway here with our referee Ryan in the centre and big Simon Bell with the shorts hiked up, about to kick things off to Sulav Maski, who's wearing the captain's armband today for Hellenic. An early turnover there with McDowell playing the ball back through to Pencho. Getting raced an early touch. Distribution to Reinberg was a little bit off there. It's Powell. Holds it up well and plays it back to Bilius. Just been handed a late team sheet, and that's Philip Pullman in 66 that's in goals, not Geekus. So apologies to both Geekus and Pullman, but it's Pullman that's in goals. With a late change there from McAdam. It's Muskie's on the ball now. For Taniembo. Content to just hold possession here, Hellenic, and Mindil not pressing too high. So Riku, first time ball to Ludvigsen in plenty of space. He cuts inside too, looks to find McDowell. Chip over to Riku, is just stretching and couldn't get there. Manages to keep it in. He's got Newman for company, and well done. They've had some tasty battles so far this year, Pedro, in the 3 matches that these two sides have played before. Dexter Newman probably got the better of Charles Ariku the last time. Charles will be looking to arrest that this time, and that was a nice early opportunity from Kane McDowell with the interception. Yeah, mate, you need to be tight with Charles. If you give him too much time on the ball, mate, he's obviously very dangerous. So I think coach's key would be just to put a lot of press on him. As McNabb came deep to get that one and turned it over to Kwarkinen again, but Newman's there to clean up and tries to play his way out of trouble and finds Bell, and there is the foul in the process. So it's been a cagey start here for both sides. You noticing anything in the way they're setting up that's out of the ordinary, Pedro? So, too strong from Bell there.
on Reeve. He disagrees.
Yeah, it just looks like Mindil's trying to flood it a little bit in the midfield there. Looks like he's just trying to get the game settled, mate, before they start pushing.
So Kwarkinen looking for someone to show. This has been Mindil's issue so far the last few games, that they haven't had people in the midfield showing them and getting strung out. But Reinberg has some wheels, but he's turned over there by Nyembo. And Powell strong on McDowell. And that's a heavy challenge by Ludvigsen, but all ball, and McDowell, they would have said to test the keeper early with that late change, and he's taken that very literally with a shot from 30 metres out that bounces once and safely into Pullman's arms. He'll grow in confidence from that, and Martino looks to break down the near side here at Darwin Football Stadium. Nyembo, Bell was offside then, but the right idea. Iriku dwelled on it too long, and it's picked up by Newman to Maskey with the widest boots in the country. One for Newman to chase, but he just hasn't got the legs to get there, and Arlo Race comes out, claims strongly. That'll do him the world of good as well. Kwarkinen and not on a wavelength there, and that'll go out for a Hellenic throw. The pace has gone up here in these last couple of minutes here after a fairly cagey start.
Yeah, definitely, and like we said, JD, is just I think they'll just better settle in, and once obviously they've found their positions now, they're starting to push. Pace has definitely picked up.
As you were. A long-ish throw from Newman, floats in towards Bell, wins the first header, but Mifsud's there to clean up for Mindil. Nyembo handled it there in winning that one, and Race will take the free kick. Goes 45 on the fly and is allowed to bounce, and this makes a foot race here. Ludvigsen will be quicker than Villiers, but Pullman's there. Kicks it back infield. Interesting choice there, because Kwarkinen can pull the sugar here, and unfortunately stepped on the ball and copped one in the back for his trouble. All fair in run of play, and Maskey tries to thread one through. It's gone to Bell. He's picked out McNabb. McNabb's through one-on-one. Fantastic finish there. Had all the time in the world after getting between the lines, and just like that, he's picked up another goal for him. That takes his season tally up to 7, moves him into the top 10 in the Golden Boot race. He won't get anywhere near the top 2, but that was a lovely finish, Pedro.
Yeah, definitely a great finish, mate. Bit unlucky there, Bouts, but obviously, yeah, they made a mistake, and they've been punished. Great ball by Belly too.
Yeah, well picked out. After the initial sort of bobble there, they picked it up. You thought they maybe were going to go out to Mushagero on the right-hand side. It was in some space as well, but McNabb had arced his run beautifully and picked out, and then an assured finish with his right foot. So they'll play from in front here today, Hellenic. Pencho's on the ball now. Mifsud back in the centre of defence today. He's been shifted around as probably the most versatile of Dan McCormack's men. One for Ariku in the near side. It's come off Charles. He needs to keep that in. And good stuff, but Martino did well to cover his ground, and McDowell's got it, flicked it back to U. Flicked it back again to Ludvigsen, flicked it again to Kwarkinen. Flicks it again here, Willie. No, he's dropped the shoulder, beaten 3 of them, turns and finishes.
Wow.
That is some goal there, Pedro.
Great goal.
2 goals in 2 minutes, but the back heels were infectious from the Mindil in the forward line. You thought that Kwarkinen was going to do it again. So did the 3 defenders, and he sold them with the shoulders, dropped it, turned, and then he's just put it in the bottom corner. 1-1 in the space of 2 minutes here. We're going to be in for some excitement today, Pedro.
Mate, that was unbelievable. That was unreal. Very, very, very good. I might have thought I was watching Brazil at one stage there.
The Estonian, only his 2nd goal of the season in the, we'll call them salmon boots, but that's one to savour for him, and we're square again, and they'll be buoyed by that, Mindil. Without their coach today, he's in the stands after some indiscretions last week, Dan McCormack, but he'll be happy with what he's seeing here. They've responded exactly as you want when they go behind to an early goal. They've picked up the intensity, and this makes for a fantastic afternoon. McNabb, picked off by U. This could be a long throw from Newman, your field, of a Bell to chase. It's gone as high as it has long, unfortunately. Needed to be a little bit flatter, and Reeves picked it up.
Yeah, I think it's just a waste of a ball then, JD. I mean, he's gone in short for the short ball, and he's obviously tried the long one.
So Mushigero, first real opportunity for him, and he's picked up a foul which saved his blushes because the ball was never getting to Newman there. And Simon Bell's letting him know. So Sulav Maski will stand over this. It's probably a little bit outside his range, I would say, but he's got such a talented locker that you never want to write him off. But the breeze is coming in from the northwest, or left to right on your screen here. It's going against him, which may help him get it over the wall, but is he just going to take this on and you have people following in, Pedro?
Yeah, definitely, mate. Don't look like he's going to pass from here. Like you said, JD, if he gets onto it, mate, he can definitely ping a ball. So, be interesting.
The wall getting their instructions. Pedro, my co-commentator today, of course, the last manager that took Hellenic to the double in 2018, and that most memorable game against the Western Sydney Wanderers here. It's a fantastic evening that evening. But this man scored a couple of cracking goals, and can he add to that now? It's a knuckleball, and it's there for pickings. We said he needed to get it on target, and someone had to follow in, Pedro, and Bell just wasn't quite on his toes. He was a little bit flat when Muskie hit it. I think everybody was surprised, but there's still an opportunity. They're falling at the feet of Bell, and Tanu has finished that into his own net. That's one of the craziest goals that you'll see, Pedro.
Unbelievable. Yeah, unlucky there. I think he's obviously gone to knock it out, and he's hit the back of the net.
So a well-struck free kick from Maskey. Probably should have been finished off by one of the Hellenic players coming into the box on the follow-up, because Race he did well to just control it, wasn't able to catch it, and then from the ensuing kerfuffle, we'll call it, in the box, it's been turned in by U, and inside the 10 minutes we've got 2-1 here to Hellenic. So Mifsud using his experience just to try and calm things down now. He's saying we saw a plethora of goals last night from Azuri and Darwin Harts in a game that saw 6 goals from Chris Aquara to go to the top of the goal scoring charts, and double-figure goals in total. 8-2 was the score. Everyone's saying we don't know that we want to see another 10 again as Maskey tries to pick out Bell. But this Darwin Men's Premier League, they love attack. Defence comes second. We're running at nearly 4 goals per game, 3.9 goals per game, and we're on track to get above that today with 3 goals in the first 10 minutes. Martino with the head. McNabb will bring this down. The midfield's getting really stretched out here in this opening 10 minutes. Lots of space in there, and he's looking to make up for that, and he's found McDowell. Kwarkinen's on his inside. Finds him. Looks for Reinberg. Kwarkinen takes it on himself. Harmlessly through to Pullman in the end. And both goal mouths inside the 6-yard box have had areas re-turfed as well, which may lead to an awkward bounce if keepers aren't coming off their line, Pedro. And you just saw there, Pullman looked to control that with his feet, and he spilled it a little bit, but it's fallen for Eriku, who let it go through for Ludvigsen, who was actually onside but thought he wasn't and pulled up there. Play the whistle, Tavian. He was in.
Definitely he was in then. Obviously did think he was offside, but he's clearly onside.
And we'll have the first corner of the afternoon for Christopher Reinberg, who showed last week that he can deliver a sweet ball in from both a set piece and a corner. So expect a nice delivery here from him. It'll be an in-swinging right footer, but he should be able to pick up a head, and they've shown so far this season, Mindil with McDowell, with Ludvigsen, that they've got players that can head a ball. Near post, picked out by Maskey, will fall again to Reinberg. First time to Ludvigsen. And McNabb's poured it out into the channel. Well done, McDowell, but unable to keep it in. Maskey finds Niembo, unable to control. again. Back to Kwarkinen. Inside Powell. McDowell. Picked out by Maskey. Ball over the top for McNabb to chase.
Great ball.
He's got Bell in the centre. Does he look early? He does. On the head of Bell here. Just couldn't direct it on target.
That was a lovely ball.
And as good as he is, Matthew Mifsud, at that centre-half position, he's giving away It'd have to be 20 or 30 kilos on Bell and a good foot of height. Those whipped crosses in, particularly early from McNabb, and if we get any from the other side from Mushigero, they're going to be really difficult for him to contain Bell this afternoon. Powell. Newman on Ariku. Ariku wins strongly. Ludvigsen puts it forward to Kwarkinen. Strides into the box. Couldn't get a meaningful cross on at Kwarkinen there, but they're breaking forward with real purpose here, Mindil. McNabb's managed to turn there, but Ariku's come and helped him out, and Kwarkinen's there as well. Martino. Niembo. McNabb. I think the AR's been convinced there by the Hellenic players and bench that whole ball went over the line. And Matthew McNabb just limping away here a little bit with his knee. Not good signs early for the big man. Newman looking for a short option. Decides to go long. Picked out by Kudo. Good strong work from Ludvigsen, although he appears to have got Newman in the head. There's nothing intentional from that, but Newman looks like he's in a lot of pain.
He's a tough lad, mate. He'll get up.
He is.
Obviously, he's copped the one on the chin, but yeah, we know Dexter. He's definitely heavy unit and straight back on his feet.
He is. You've worked with Dexter for a number of years. He's been around Darwin football for a long time. I think he's probably having the best season he's had in a long, long while this year.
Yeah, he's actually looking fit, JD. He's trimmed right down, and obviously he's just come back from an injury, and yeah, he's looking good, mate.
So Bilius drops it into Powell. Nobody's showing from the midfield for him, and he's going to have to hit that raking 40-metre ball across field to try and get to McNabb. That's got caught in the wind, which is gusting at the moment more than anything else from left to right on your screens here in this first half, but it is giving the players some respite. It's 31, 32 degrees out there on the pitch, and humidity's up, so that breeze will be helping as Powell's gone for a pass that comes shot there.
Yeah, he's definitely sprayed that. Looks like he's gone back in deep defence there, JD. Joel?
As Bilius looking for his keeper to come there, and he didn't, and he's nearly put Ludvigsen in. It's Bilius and Pullman just not on a wavelength there. But I'd say that's maybe why Powell's gone back after a little adjustment on the run here, with Mindil seeing not much action through the midfield, but when they do get forward, they're breaking with real purpose. As Mushigero's got it, and he puts it forward to Bell. Straight from race out to halfway, but unable to be controlled until Kudo's picked it up and put it forward. Kwarkinen goes to Ariku. Ball bounces awkwardly for him, but able to regather. And Newman's there again.
Yeah, definitely, JD. Charles and Dexter are going to have a good challenge tonight.
So Ludvigsen, handball by Bilius, and that is absolutely deliberate. There has to be a card for that. He's getting ready for AFL season, is he? That was a smother.
Yeah, don't know what he was thinking there.
That's what the heat will do.
Yeah.
Eh? Don't just fatigue.
Downstairs. In a dangerous position here, mate.
Pardon?
I said they're in a dangerous position here. Hopefully.
Absolutely. I said before, Reinberg, he had a number of set pieces last week against Azuri that were deadly, and found heads that just couldn't find the target. So expect him to put this one in nice and flat. And if Charles Ariku, who was the target 2 or 3 times last week, can get it on target, then we could be seeing us all square here at 2-2 after 17 minutes. So Reinberg delivers a nice curling ball in, and Reeve showed not bad technique there for a centre-back. Just couldn't get his leg over the top of the ball that was always rising, but a dangerous ball in from Reinberg, well dealt with by Hellenic. But Bilius has just made his afternoon difficult for himself, getting that yellow card so early in the match here with plenty of quick players around him. He'll need to be careful with his challenges.
Yeah, definitely can't afford to get another yellow, mate. He's in the back line, so yeah, definitely needs to watch his next moves.
Muskie releases McNabb again. He'll win the foot race to the ball. Squares up Arlo Race. Tried to nutmeg him, but Race did well. Made himself big. Gets back and picks up the ball. That was a real opportunity to go 3-1 up there for McNabb. He'll be frustrated with himself because he's got a lot better in his locker than that.
Yeah, definitely, JD. I actually thought he would have put it away there with his calibre. So unlucky there. Great work from the keeper. Obviously, yeah, he made himself look big and he's produced a great save.
So has an option with his feet now. Out to Reinberg. Just too many hands in the back there, unfortunately, from Kalitsis. And Mifsud, ever the metronome in this team, trying to get the pace up for the Mindil Aces. Just gives it to Pencho. Pencho picked up a yellow last week, Pedro, that I think he thought was his fifth because that's what was showing on the stats that we look at, but because some of them had led to red cards, he's actually only on the 3 yellow cards. So one of those danger players that would have missed a week had he not got the red card, but those ones are scrubbed, so as long as he doesn't pick up yellow cards today and next week, then he'll be fine to get into finals. But yeah, you could see his frustration last week when he picked that up. He'll be glad to be out there today. Reinberg's picked it up. Couldn't quite get to Kwarkanen. And Maskey has such fantastic feet. Picks out Martino. And McNabb, too much space they're giving him there. Way too much respect as Niembo couldn't find the 15-metre pass there to Bell, and it breaks down.
Yeah, if they've done all the hard work then, and just, yeah, that last pass in the final third is it's not helping Hellenic at the moment.
So Mifsud looking for an option. He's only really got Kudo and Pencho, and McDowell does show in the end. Plays it wide out to Pencho, and Bilius is there to close down. Mifsud gathers this ball for the throw. We'll take the opportunity here at Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, to thank the Larrakia elders, past, present and emerging, for permission to play this beautiful game on this beautiful country that we are this afternoon. And where would you want to be other than here on a Saturday afternoon, or on the couch at home watching it on whatever platform you're watching through the Perform Network, FFA digital channels, or FNT on YouTube. As there's a free kick there that Kudo looks to take quickly, and Mifsud does, switching the ball across to U. Gets the ball to Kudo. Needed to play feet there to Iriku, and he was looking through the channel. But central now for Mifsud. One for Reinberg, and through the back there, but won the ball at the same time. Bell's trying to hold his run, but Reeve had him miles on side there. Needed a call from his inside man that he had plenty of space, but Mushigero's got it. Plays it to Bell now, and he's got McNabb steaming forward. Chips it over for Niembo. Hasn't hit top gear yet, and Pencho's there to recover. Niembo all over him. Clean so far, and he'll get the AR's flag in the end for a free kick. Needless there from Jeffrey Niembo. Just needed to be a bit more patient, not give away the easy foul. That's youth and exuberance there, Pedro.
Yeah, mate, he wasn't going anywhere. He just needed to just sort of, obviously, just shock him and hopefully coughed it up. But yeah, a little bit inexperienced there with his youth, but sure he learned from it.
So Kwarkanen drops in for Reinberg. He's lightning, and he taps around the keeper. That's a nice finish, and that's what the Mindil Aces can do. Mario Kwarkanen with a fantastically measured ball, and Chris Reinberg, if he's not the fastest player on the pitch, I don't know who he is, and we're 22 minutes in, and it's 2-2.
It's an exciting game, JD. Obviously didn't expect that. Great ball, great finish. Mate, we've got a game on our hands.
We most certainly do. So, again, this is first versus second. Hellenic already have the minor premiership sewn up. They will play in the major semi-final in 2 weeks' time. But coming off a loss, needing to find form, the Mindil Aces, second place is theirs for the taking. They need to get something out of this game, though, to assure themselves of that second spot with a red-hot Azzurri right up their backside after last night. And we have 2-2 at the moment in what's turned out to be a fantastic first 20 minutes of football. When we maybe lamented that the heat might take a little bit of the excitement away, both teams have said, no, we'll put on a show. As that looked to be a foul there by Nyembo, and it will be, as Mifsud comes forward again and sees a quick option. And he takes that option to... big foul there, and Joel Powell does get the ball, though, and Bilius in there to clean up. Strong bodywork between Powell and Ludvigsen. Bell offside and then onside, but Mushigero couldn't find the pass in the end. Haven't seen too much action down this right-hand side. It's all been very left-hand side heavy for Hellenic. The Northcrest scoreboard side of the field hasn't seen a great deal between Kalitsis and Mushigero. As Kane McDowell, the captain, goes down here for Mindil, looking for treatment almost halfway through this first half. So we'll take this opportunity now to thank our sponsors, Northcrest. So we can see the Northcrest scoreboard there in the shot. Steel Line, NTF Construction Supplies, Hyundai, Umbro, Rebel Sport, and of course the Northern Territory Government for getting us in this situation to be able to play football. And we will get the full 20-round competition in, as I said before, with finals kicking off in just over 2 weeks' time. And of course we've got our new national sponsor that we need to make mention of coming on board, as you would have heard last night from CEO Bruce Stalder, and that's Pilot. It's the most convenient way to deal with common men's health problems for C. Pedro men in this country, not known for going to the doctor. We take too long to do it, and trips can obviously be awkward and time-consuming. Pilot fixes that by bringing the doctor to you via the internet with prescription treatments for things like hair loss and other common issues for free delivery. You can simply scan the QR code on your screen now to find out more.
That's great. Good to know, JD.
McDowell's still down getting treatment. We're obviously having a drinks break here with the temperature as high as it is in this 4 o'clock kickoff. They've been gone for a long time, but these last few matches of the season with the temperature and humidity what it is, it's important that player safety remains as paramount, and we'll have that drinks break now. So it was an opportune time, and McDowell's getting treatment from the physio Lee on the other side of the pitch. He looks like he'll be able to carry on once he's invited back on by our referee after the throw's taken. So Bilius on the ball now. Nyembo tries to find Maskey, but Kwarkinen's there to clean up. Pencho back to Kwarkinen. Happy to play the ball in their back four. And Mushigero's on it. Mifsud sensed the dangerous still have Maskey there and has just done a diving header that's gone out for a corner kick, which Maskey will take. And there's plenty of height in this Hellenic side today. You've got Bell's an obvious target. Powell will stride forward.
Funny, we just mentioned before, JD, McNabb with the throw-ins. He's just had a go at the young fella on his throw-ins just to play feet and not just lob it anywhere.
That's Kalitsis we're talking about as Maskey puts it in. That's a backstick effort for Newman to put back across. Nobody gambling on that one. But McNabb, the man you talked about, plays it long and back to maintain possession. And Pullman says, settle down, I've got this, and plays it out to Kalitsis, who's on this left-hand side now after the corner, and plays it off to Martino well. Uriku with the good challenge, but still a Hellenic throw.
Mindil definitely very hungry, mate, at the moment, we can see.
That's another high throw from Newman. That's a handball from McNabb, not picked up. He's through. Good chest. Ooh, that was Ooh again, I think, that put that through for Race to make a good save. And we've got a corner here. Or has referee Ryan been tipped off by the fourth official? He's having a chat with McNabb. No, the handball's gone unnoticed, and we'll have a Maskey corner. Powell striding forward again from centre back in the 16. Hellenic have done very well this season with players running into the back post. Turner's got a couple not in the side today. But you know, Powell, though, in his junior club back in England, was known as Yaya. That is some comparison there for the youngster that looks 45. And it is a back post effort to Powell. Puts it in towards Bell. Race comes, gets it, and McDowell unable to prevent another corner. Some clear intent with their play here. They're looking for that back post corner again, Hellenic, and to put it back across to give Bell something to aim at with the second ball. But you'd be surprised if it's not the same here again from Maskey. Reinberg just puts it forward for Ariku to chase, but Martino does well to prevent the bounce. He just puts it back into an area, and McNabb will keep this in. One-on-one with U. He'll play Bilius, or no, he's gone the cross first time. Maybe better to play Bilius. And Reeves done well. He's got a long ball forward again for Ariku. Kalitsis, though, strong with the head.
Yeah, well done by the young fellow then.
And Enrico just lost his footing there. So with a midfield three of Niembo, Bilius and Mushigero, you're really noticing the difference of the captain Warren Barry not being there today for Hellenic. The voice is just not there. It's all coming from Bell and from the back line through Powell and Newman. You want one of these guys to really step up and take that ownership. And Niembo has been in there all season since Jesse Pinto had his injury. Would be the man that you expect to take it on. And that's a raking ball forward that Race will clean up comfortably and release Pencho on the northwest side of the field. He beats Maskey, and if that was anybody else except Sulab Maskey, they'd be getting a yellow ticket at this point, one expects. But Maskey, for some reason, gets away with it.
Yeah, he's gotten away with it, that one, mate. Definitely. He's not one for those sort of tackles, but yeah, he's very fortunate there.
And as I said, he is wearing the captain's armband today, but unfortunately for Sully, Warren's been in the gym and he stretched it out a bit when they tried to put it on Sulab. It didn't fit. But he has got the C next to his name, I can assure you. I once beaten Powell in the air, but beaten Ludvigsen as well. So Pullman, if you didn't hear earlier in the call, a very late call up in for Kane McAdam, who fainted in the warm-up. We hope you're okay, Kane, if you're watching. But hasn't really done a great deal wrong to be 2 goals against his name so far. He's done pretty well under the circumstances, the young fella, and he's played that ball out to Kalitsis, who's turned it over for Kudo. Kalitsis couldn't get there, and Kudo's cutting this one back to Kwarkinen, but picked out. Important intervention from Powell. Reinberg gone down. That is outside the area for mine. Martino, though, just couldn't help himself but have a nibble, and he felt the contact and went down a little bit late, but that is, for me, half a metre outside. Pedro, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit closer than that, JD, but obviously the ref's right there. He's seen the tackle and he's made the call, and yeah, they're in a dangerous position now.
And we've seen Reinberg deliver fantastically flat, hard crosses in. This is essentially what he needs to do here.
Yeah,
flat, hard, get it on target, and let's see what this keeper's got. If you're looking at it from a Mindil Aces perspective, this will not be a cross. This has to be a shot.
Oh, definitely, JD. And like you said, mate, he has got a sweet foot on him, so very interesting.
And being shown a lot of respect here by the blue and whites of Hellenic. They've got 4 in the wall. And he's hit that wall. Kwarkinen, back to Reinberg. Back to Kwarkinen, and they'll spread it further to Kudo. But he's dwelled on it there and turned it over to McNabb, who's got inside, got advantage, played it forward for Bell, who's onside, but it's going away from goal, and they'll recover here, both Mifsud and Reeve. McNabb's getting into the box, but it's going to be 2-on-1 for the Mindil in their favour. So Bell plays it to him, McNabb takes it, and that has gone over the fence. And didn't quite make the roadway, but over that very high fence there. McNabb will want that one again. Dangerous on the break, though, Hellenic. Both sides, for that matter. Dangerous on the break, and we've got a real game on our hands here after 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny then. They had obviously McNabb's given the ball to Simon Bell, but the midfield sort of sat back and sort of waited. It'd been nice to see a little bit more options there for Belly, but yeah, unlucky there by McNabb.
So Ludvigsen wins the header, but nobody there for him. It's sort of been a tale of his last month or 6 weeks. He's been working so hard, Ludvigsen, but just been a little bit too isolated. Hasn't hit the score sheet for 5 games. He's in a drought by his standards. As he's just turned the ball over there uncharacteristically, the Welshman, and Martino striding forward. Probably should have released that to McNabb, but he's turned it over in the end, and Mifsud's there to clean up. McNabb had opened up in the channel as everybody got sucked into the ball there, but Martino couldn't find him. Newman let that go over his shoulder, and Ariku is closing down. Looks to play back to his keeper. He's made it hard on the bounce. Good control from Pullman and plays it back out to Newman. All the composure you'd expect from a player at this level, and Niembo comes and collects. Maskey's got space and Kudo for company. Turns one, beats two, beats him again, beats him again. He's beat the same 2 players 2 times there, Maskey, before just running out of real estate as Zoo closes him down. And Newman just taking his time to come for the throw.
Some heavy breathing going on here, JD. Obviously the heat's starting to get to both teams.
Good strong header there by you. McNabb unable to hold him off. It's going to be very interesting to see how the heat affects these players in the back end of the second half, Pedro, for those that don't get interchanged, because there's certainly been a lot more energy in this first half than we perhaps expected, as both sides looking forward. As that's a nice header, falls at the feet of Maskey, couldn't quite get there, but Mushigero can race in, and for Arlo race, and Mushigero just fluffed his lines. Race had come out, he couldn't quite get there, and Mushigero, his angle was always narrowing, but he never got a foot to the ball, Ped. Never got a foot there.
Yeah, unlucky there. Obviously looked like he scored before he scored.
Yeah, it looked like a nice dummy in the first time that beat the keeper, but just had an air swing the second time, unfortunately, the young fella, but he got in the right position, and that's all you can ask for. Newman wins the header, comes to McNabb. Looking for an option, but he's not getting anything. He's going to have to go back to the keeper, and he'll play to Powell short. Niembo back to Powell. Back through Pullman again. Mindil content to let Hellenic have the ball in their own third. They're not pressing high given the current situation with the climate, and Pullman's got his 3rd touch in 30 seconds, and he's decided we'll go long and plays McNabb. Good win by you. Bell and McDowell. I'm glad they both pulled it out. That would have been a massive collision. Forward to Mushigero. Plays it to his own advantage against Pencho, but Pencho did well to recover and played it back to Race. Straight up the guts, and Bilius has time to control. Overran the but able to bring
Great
it down.
Control.
Lovely work from Ross, shows all his experience. Plays it into the feet of Bell, that's what you want to do. He couldn't quite get the ball to McNabb after the intervention from Reeve, but Ooh did well in the end. Maskey and Kudo, that's a lightweight challenge. Back to Bell. Back to McNabb. Spins. Reinberg and Bell. Reinberg's quicker. Bell, that's a centre forwards challenge, that one. That was horrible. Glad it didn't get anywhere near him. But McDowell has Ludvigsen. He had Ludvigsen on Bilius there, and that's the challenge you want. He's onside, Ludvigsen, and he's got an opportunity to put this in the back post or the front post, and that's brought down by Newman. For me, that's a penalty, but it's been waved away. Newman must have got some ball there, Pedro, because he looked like he come from behind for mine. I was just lamenting the fact that the ball was put near post to Charles Ariku rather than back post to an unmarked Kawakanen, but we'll come back to that in a second as, unfortunately, he's lost it there, McNabb. But what are your thoughts at the other end?
Mate, that was a close call. Obviously, I actually thought he went down then. See, Ryan's seen it differently, and yeah, very, very lucky. Hellenic were then.
And Mindil would have been absolutely crying into their beers here had that gone in at the other end, because they thought they had a penalty shout. In the space of 15 seconds, the Hellenic have broken, and McNabb just fluffed his lines when you thought he was in and kicked it with the foot he was trying to put next to the ball, and Race was able to recover. But it's been an all-action first 37 minutes, as that's a flatter throw from Newman, but still didn't find any feet, and he's just chipped it over into an area, and Mifsud will be first to it. Only as far as Mushigero. Tried to play Niembo when maybe the option was to play it out wide. Again, no foul given. And Kalitsis tries to drop the shoulder on Kudo. Gets there around him in the end and just didn't have the body position to get across in. Mifsud stepped in and cut it out easily, and he'll find Reinberg to look to go the other way. Reinberg sprays it out to U. Chips it around Bell. And Dexter Newman's won all ball there. Got a bit of Charles afterwards, and I think the referee's actually playing advantage for Mindil. But I just thought that was a good hard challenge from Dexter Newman.
Yeah, all ball, mate. That was a great challenge there.
So Newman again, just his trajectory's a bit off today. I don't know if he's got some hair gel on his hand or something, but it's gone to McNabb, to Mushigero. He's got Niembo behind for company. Elects not to use him. Tries to play a ball in an area, and Mifsud read that playbook all day long.
Yeah, it's just they should have played a simple ball then in the back there, and they would have stood out position.
And we talked about that with John Francis coached sides, I should say, in previous calls that we've done. He has a very stable first 11, 12 players that he uses, and it's a particularly experienced first 12 players, with the probable exception of Jeffrey Niembo. And so it's been interesting to see some of the younger players like Mushigero getting a run today in a meaningful situation, not coming on when they're 2, 3, 4 goals to the good, and having to make decisions. And for them, it's about trying to settle them down and tell them to do the same thing that's got them there. Do the simple things. You don't have to come on and try and change the game. Just do the simple things well. That's what got you here in the first place. But how do you address that if you're a coach in this situation, Pedro, with young players coming in a starting situation like this when they've been generally coming off the bench?
Just obviously just talking to them and just tell them to play the simple stuff, like you said before, JD. A lot of the time the simple stuff's the better stuff. And Beth, if they're getting a chance, come straight on. Definitely I'll be looking at just getting their confidence up by playing simple football, and then obviously when their confidence gets to where it needs to be, then they can start holding the ball a bit longer.
We saw a dangerous ball ripped in there just before by Sulav Maski. That's gone to McNabb, who's chested it well, played it for Bell, and Bell, as you would expect, has put that in the back of the net, and it is 3-2. There's some protestation from the Mindil players about a foul on Reinberg, but there was nothing too much in it. The referee allowed play on. The ball went forward to McNabb. He had a good controlled chest, played the ball through to Bell, and Bell pulls himself square on 22 goals with Chris Aquara at the top of the goal-scoring charts, and it is 3-2 Hellenic after 40 minutes here at Darwin Football Stadium. What did you see there, Pedro?
Yeah, again, mate, a great finish by Belly. We know he can put him away, and that'll do him good, knowing that he's equal with top of the table for goals.
And the goal scorer in number 17, Bell, just giving his team a rev up there in these last 5 minutes before half-time. We see so many goals in that period. Obviously, that one was just before 5 minutes, but this is so dangerous for both sides. And Mindil, to their credit, every time Hellenic have scored, Mindil have hit straight back, so they'll be looking to do the same here and level things up before half-time at 3-3. As that one's beaten through, and Ariku is offside, but the referee will allow play to go. There's some confusion from the players, but Pullman's got the ball in goal. And there's some calls from on the field to play the whistle, and that's exactly what you want in this situation, Pedro. Play the whistle. It's a good release. It's gone 55 on the fly. Bell versus Mifsud, and Reeves come through for the second ball. U's got time, manages to keep it in. No one showing short. K. McDowell does, tries a flick on. Martino's fouled him, and there is a foul there. There's just that little delay with Mindil Aces with somebody showing short. Their first thought seems to be away, then to come closer. There needs to be somebody coming in to get that ball there. There's at times lacking options from this midfield here in the first half, and that's something that Coach McCormack, not Daniel, his brother today, will be looking to address, I'm sure, at half-time. So Mifsud taking the ball back 5 or 6 metres there. He'll look to put this one forward and float it into the box. He has nicely. It's up there. Keeper comes strong, fist out, and Martino's put that forward. Reeve will come and collect.
Yeah, good work by the keeper there. Oh, he sprayed that. No, he's got to it.
Yeah, the sun that there is here this afternoon would definitely have been in his eyes there, and the wind is not helping him either, as Kwarkinen's got it now and couldn't find Kudo, and there's an opportunity for Mushigero. He's put it forward to Bell. It's a 2-on-2 here with Bell and McNabb against Mifsud and Reeve. Bell's put him. He's onside here, McNabb, and he's taken it first time and skied it. Probably had an opportunity to take a touch there, you'd think, Pedro, but as you can probably hear through our effects, Matthew Mifsud is asking where his fullbacks were there, because McNabb and Bell 2-on-2, that's a dangerous proposition for any side.
Yeah, definitely. Looked like Mindil were a bit lost there. Obviously, they've lacked in a bit of concentration there, and McNabb's lucky he didn't put one away. He's had a couple of chances, to be honest, JD. He wouldn't be very happy with himself at the moment, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, as I said, he was just limping a little bit before on that knee. Not making excuses for the young man, but it's sometimes hard when you're subconsciously thinking about something other than just putting the ball in the back of the net. But certainly his work rate is high as ever, and he's creating opportunities. We'll just do well to see him put one or two more away here. And it's got for Hellenic. They're trying to find a ball straight into Bell. Mifsud jumped on his back there, changed his name to Turtle, and that was Michelle. Maskey drops the shoulder, finds McNabb. He's gone back post there. And
great ball.
Probably should have tried to take that on there, Mushigero, but instead he's just tried to knee it nearly, thigh it. Unable to control. One for Ludvigsen to chase. It's got over Powell. That wind is really... Oh, that's a terrible decision by Martino, and Ludvigsen has capitalised on it, and that is 3-3. I said it was danger time here in the last 5 minutes before half-time, and every time Hellenic have scored, Mindil have come straight back, and they've done just that, but architects of their own demise there. Marco Martino didn't put enough on the header. Pullman didn't come, and as every good poacher should, Tavian Ludvigsen breaks his drought by just being there, being persistent, and getting a touch over. He's made it 3-3 here with his 12th goal of the season. Yeah,
when you spoke about him before the game, JD, his work rate's unbelievable, mate. And obviously, there he's hungry for it, and he's got one in the bag.
So Maskey to Bell, Bell to McNabb. He's got Ariku for company, drops the shoulder on him and beats Kwarkinen as well. But Ariku's flown in 1-all ball. Billy has just tried to get him, but Ariku's still managed to maintain it. McNabb's still down, but Mindil continue to play on here. Oo's gone around him. I don't think they'll put this one out, Mindil. I think they're going to continue to play. Oh no, they've had the call now, and they will put it out very sportingly, and that will probably bring the half to an end in any case. It has. And that gives us all an opportunity to take a breath here. 6 goals in the first half, 3 for Hellenic, 3 for Mindil. They go in all square in this top of the table clash. It's 1v2, and we'll come back in just a short moment for the halftime show. But it's been all action first 45 minutes, and I'm expecting more of the same here in the second half as it cools down a little bit. It should be fantastic. So we'll leave you to our holding graphic now and join you in just a moment for the halftime show. So welcome back. It's half-time here at Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park, in this round 17 clash between Mindil Aces Football Club and Hellenic Athletic Football Club. And as you would expect, it was all action from 1v2 on our ladder, and it was 3-3, 6 goals here in the first half. We perhaps thought it might start a little bit slower than what we saw, Pedro, but it was fantastic action at both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, the goals started flying in. As you said, JD's 3 goals each. We've got a game on our hands, mate.
Yeah, we certainly do. In terms of that first 45 minutes, it seemed as though we sort of had a bit of a slow start, and then you had Hellenic came out, they pushed the pressure, they got the ascendancy, and then we sort of saw the reaction from Mindil to get things all square, and then that repeated itself 3 times over, really. Every time Hellenic got in front, Mindil would pull it back, and that's how we sort of come in at half-time, and certainly the last 5 minutes, Mindil really upped the tempo to get that equaliser. But how did you see things in terms of who came out on top and what battles to look for?
Look, obviously Mindil definitely... I can see they're a little bit more hungrier for the ball. Obviously, Johnny will have a good talk to Hellenic in regards to getting a bit more pressing game on their on this half. So, yeah, at the moment, mate, it's 3-3, so it could be anyone's game, and yeah, it should be interesting.
Certainly. So we'll put the coach's hat on, I guess, from that perspective, starting with the side on the right-hand side of the screens, the Hellenic. They've got a very young and inexperienced bench, but they have got on their captain, Warren Barry. He's obviously coming back from injury. Is it a situation where you're looking to give him 20-30 minutes in his legs, do you think, or are they just going to keep him in their back pocket and only use him if needed?
Oh, mate, if he can come on, it'd be great. Obviously, he can play the game, and he's very good. He's composed and that, and I think that's what they need at the moment, just to sort of settle things a bit. And obviously, the heat's a big factor here, so from what I can see, if whoever holds the ball and just is a bit more composed with it, should get away with it, to be honest.
Yeah, certainly, and obviously it's a huge plus to have him coming back. We just had a chat with Kenneth Nahn off camera as well, who's usually anchoring that midfield for Hellenic. So he's looking to come back in the next week or two as well. So those big guns will all be back for when it counts and when the chooks are really on the line come finals time. From the Mindil point of view, as you said, they came out really well. They were very hungry. Were you making any changes there, or are you going as is? Because they really seemed to finish on top that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be leaving the first 11 as it is, JD. They come out strong in the last 5 minutes, and obviously equalised. So as a coach's perspective, yeah, mate, I'd be just leaving the first 11, see how we go for the first 15, 20, and if they're playing well, so be it. If not, then maybe do some changes.
There it is. So you've heard it from Pedro Stefanidakis. He'll be joining me again in the second half with his expert commentary here as we are about to kick off here at Darwin Football Stadium, Larrakia Park. And we look forward to more excitement like we've just seen with 6 goals in the first half. Can we do it again? Tune in and find out. All the way to the goalkeeper Arlo Race, and good enthusiasm from Maskey, who's caused an awkward pass from Race to Mifsud that really made him stretch, and pressure from Bell was fantastic, and we've got an early Hellenic throw. So you wanted to see some more energy, enthusiasm, Pedro, from the Hellenic side of the pitch, and you saw it right from the off there.
Yeah, definitely come out strong. That's what they need to do, mate.
And Kalitsis has won his team a corner that Niembo looks as though he would take, so still have Maskey's off corner duties. And in that last minute team sheet, I can also update that Maskey's not the captain today. It is Simon Bell, also not wearing the armband. But Niembo's flat front post corner beats the first 2 defenders, and kudos there as ever to clean up. McDowell looking forward for an option, but Reinberg wasn't on his bike, and that'll harmlessly trickle out of play for a throw. Martino, Long, Maskey. It's been a good match-up today with Maskey and Kudo. Kudo just keeping him company. Obviously giving away plenty of years, but enthusiastic as ever. And Ariku's miles on side. He needs to get this ball and take it away. Just lackadaisical from Ariku there. Ludvigsen still got it. Looks to spray it out to Kwarkanen, but he's just put too much spray on it.
Yeah, I don't know what Charles was doing there. He was home and home then.
Still in the sheds, because Martino knew he was keeping him on side. He gave up the ghost before looking across at the AR in hope that he would do him a favour, which obviously he wasn't going to do, but Ariku just waited for the ball, needed to be proactive and get that.
Yeah, I think he'll be kicking himself when he sees the replay, mate.
So that man, Ariku, wins the header. Forward to Ludvigsen. Newman was strong and got it to Bilius, who's put it forward to Maskey. Not on the wavelength with McNabb. So Oo's taken that throw from, I thought 30 metres from where it went out. But anyway, carry on. Iriku's got two options in the middle. Picks out Ludvigsen. It's a little bit behind him. He's tried to look for the option for McDowell, but plays it to Reinberg. Creates some space. Back to McDowell. Creates it. One step. Shot. Picked out by Powell. Kudo to Kwarkinen. He won't be able to keep that one in, and he's kicked it away in the end anyway. So McDowell's down again, possibly needing treatment for the second time in this match, only 3 minutes into this second half. That's not good, going down under his own steam there.
Looks like Sulov's come back into the number 10 role, and McNabb's gone out wing.
So the physio Lee getting plenty of minutes today for Mindil. Out assessing Kane McDowell, and while we're in a break in play, we'll take the opportunity to send a shout out to some people watching today. I know that Dan Bullman worked with both of us in the night setup, and obviously previously playing for Hellenic, is currently watching on stream in Howard Springs, along with your brother, I believe, Pedro.
Yeah, mate, they're in quarantine at the moment, and yeah, I'm sure Bully can't wait to get out and get back on the park, mate.
So he's out of quarantine this week. I believe he'll be trying to lace him up and go from there, but nice that it was football first, not really giving a crap about your brother there, mate. Didn't even say g'day to him. So Kalitsis gets us back underway. To Bilius. Martino looking for an option, but again, it's just static. Nobody really showing, and Oo did well to pick that one out, but Maskey will win the race to the ball. First time for McNabb. Reeves chipped it back, but didn't put it out, and McNabb's won it. And Oo has put it out of play. So they're setting up here as though Newman's going to go long again. He'll be hoping for a flatter delivery. Bell seems to be the target. It's a looping delivery just over Bell's head, is allowed to bounce, and race has come, but it wasn't a strong punch, only as far as the 18. And there was nothing malicious in that, but Jeffrey Niembo has collected all of Taiki Kudo trying to volley that ball, and he's got a yellow ticket for his problems.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there. I don't think he meant that. He just obviously saw the ball and he's just tried to strike it, but unfortunately Mindil player was there and he's worn it.
So there will be an early substitution here in this second half. So it's Levi Winman who's gone on. Kane McDowell unable to continue after going off for treatment, and it's Matthew Mifsud that will take the armband. So Winman's gone up high. You'd expect that it's going to be Tavia Ludvigsen that drops into that three-man midfield where Kane McDowell was operating in that number 10 sort of role. But we'll see how they shape up here. But that's a huge loss for Mindil. Obviously, we'll try and find out if it's precautionary, given that we're only a week and a half out from finals now, or if there's something more significant there. But hope there's a speedy recovery for Kane. Reeve, strong. Maskey tried to find Bell, but Mifsud stepped in and picked it out. He's gone to Ludvigsen, back to Kwarkinen and Ariku. They're the three that are going to do the damage for Mindil if they combine well, and they've started out a lot better in this second half than they finished the first. And Winman looking to cut the angles. They've got Powell cornered in here, Ariku and Winman, and Kwarkinen's gone in and stepped and cut it out, and Powell's taken him down rather cynically, and that will be a free kick. And an unnecessary one there from Powell, really, because they weren't going anywhere, Mindil. It didn't look particularly dangerous. And we've got Reinberg, who we know can deliver such a fantastic set piece in. Just a brain fade there from the Scouser. So U will deliver this, not Reinberg. Outswinger. That was on target, Pedro.
Yeah,
Sharp
I wasn't
work from
expecting
Pullman
that.
in the end.
That was good work by the keeper. I didn't think he'd expect that, but great save and great delivery.
Well, the technique is unbelievable because that's a right footer curling the ball away from goal. He's put that on target. That's cheeky. Spent some times at Bentley Greens down in the NPL. Tanu, he's obviously seen some good free kick splashes and picked a few things up along the way, and he'll take this corner as well, which you expect to be an outswinger. And it has gone out. We'll come back for a goal kick.
Yeah, he's been busy, and he's technically very good. He's having a good game on the right back there.
Strong challenge by Bilius and Ludvigsen. Ball from Mushigero back to Newman. Didn't get the call that it was man on from Bilius, and Winman's got this, an opportunity to strike. Plays it for Reinberg instead. And that was shoulder to shoulder. Nothing in that one as Powell got the ball away. Just needed to pull the trigger there, Mindil Aces. Winman didn't want to take the shot on, and Reinberg didn't take the opportunity. But Powell has pulled up lame. The time call there from Mifsud, but Powell's gone down. Not good for the big man. I don't know if it's calf or ankle. He looks in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he doesn't look very good there, JD.
Nobody's got the call here. They've got to put this ball out here if they get it, Hellenic. He was keeping everybody on side too, but nobody really spotted it. Had Mindil come down and tried to attack, but you feel for Joel Powell here, the young man. So he'll receive some treatment. And we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors again. Hyundai, long-term sponsors of football in this country, with us to the end of the season. Rebel Sport, Umbro, NTF, Steel Line, and of course Northcrest on the beautiful Northcrest scoreboard, the development just south of Darwin, and of course the Northern Territory Government for doing so well, keeping this the safest place in the country here in the Northern Territory. Obviously we're coming out of the beautiful dry season weather and into the build-up. Bit of mango madness. Speaking of mangoes, I had a phone call this morning from Nelson New. Pedro?
How is he, mate?
He's doing well. He was talking about a reserve grade game last night where one of his students kept some fantastic saves in goals for a Naziri 1-0 win over Port Darwin, and Nelson was taking great joy in talking about that. So hello, Nelson, if you're watching. Looking forward to some mangoes, my friend.
Yep, how are you, Nelson?
And obviously the ball's just coming back into play now. We'll take the opportunity to thank Pilot for coming on board as our national sponsor for this coverage. Pilot's the most convenient way to deal with common men's health problems. It makes it easy to bring the doctor to you via the internet with prescription treatments available for hair loss and other common issues. Scan the QR code as the balls come over the top. Nice ball in. And Mifsud has cleared that one away. Powell's received his treatment and looks like he'll be right to continue. That was a big, strong challenge from Dexter Newman. He was waiting for Winman there, Ludvigsen, the Mindil player, to arc his run because he was offside, and he just held the ball for too long, enabling Dexter Newman to come in and make what I found to be a crunching but fair challenge. But the referee has seen otherwise here, and there'll be treatment required for Ludvigsen. And once again, Lee, the Mindil physio, is earning her money today.
Yeah, I just I don't think he would scan very well then, mate. He had all the time in the world then, and obviously didn't see Newman come in and put the tackle on.
So you heard the clash of the tackle, which you thought was shin pad on shin pad. So hoping that Ludvigsen's all right here. It looks to be sort of mid-shin that's being checked by the physio.
Looks like Joel's still limping a bit, so obviously it looks like he's going to try and ride that off, JD.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie. They beat him tough in Liverpool over in England, but there's an extended conversation happening here between the referee and Dexter Newman. I saw him with his book out, but there was no ticket that I missed there, was there? There was no yellow.
No, mate, no.
And speaking of Liverpool, it was a good signing this morning for the red half of Liverpool. Thiago joining the Reds. What do you think about that one?
Oh, mate, being a Liverpool supporter, yeah, he's great signing. Looking forward to watching him, to be honest.
So exciting stuff in the early days of the English Premier League. And for the other red team, obviously Simon Bell, being from Manchester, we know his mum, Danielle, will be watching on the live cast. G'day, Danielle. Always watching, tuning in.
She'll be happy seeing the son put another one away.
And this doesn't look good here for Tavian Ludvigsen. He's being helped from the field.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Mindil, mate.
And he's a ball of muscle too, Ludvigsen. He wouldn't be light here. He's not able to put any pressure on that right foot. I'd do well here, Johnny Pencho, rather than looking to get in there and maybe give the physio Lee a hand to carry him off. As McCormack's now taking over from Kwarkinen. And ever the team man cheering his team on as he's helped from the field. So it will force a substitution, and it's Sean Henderson, the young Indigenous representative player that's coming on, the number 5. He's got pace to burn. Very different player to Ludvigsen, but he will pose problems for Hellenic.
Yeah, young Shawnee, knowing him, know his family well, and yeah, very talented kid, and definitely can match it. So, be interesting to see how he goes.
So, Mushigero did well there to pressure Reinberg and win the throw, and it's Kalitzis that will take it here on this near side as the shadow starts to extend across Darwin Football Stadium here at Larrakia Park. Niembo to Mushigero, couldn't control, and Sean gets his first touch, ball through to Reinberg, but he couldn't control. Pencho loses his footing there, unfortunately, Henderson, but finds Reinberg in the end. Kwarkinen, one for Henderson to chase, but Powell has recovered enough from his complaints to get in and chop that one out.
Yeah, Hellenic definitely need to have him on the park, mate. He's obviously settling the back there, and his presence is starting to show.
That's
some
great
great footwork
from
there.
Kwarkinen. Deserved a better ball in from Reinberg, but Henderson shows a clean pair of heels. Ball forward for Kwarkinen, but Kalitzis has done well. Yeah, as you say, I mean, he's such an important defender. For mine, he's been the best defender in the league this year, but if you do drop him out, it just changes the whole dynamic of the side, because you expect that it means Bilius has to drop back into centre half and Warren Barry probably comes on in the midfield. But it just gives it a very different look and something for Mindil to really try and attack. Kalitzis has done well there and put the ball out for another Mindil throw. There's a bit of niggle creeping in there. Kalitzis and Kwarkinen just exchanging a shoulder as they get back into position, but Maskey's chipped that one over the top for Niembo to chase. Kudo couldn't find Pencho.
That Kudo's got an engine room on him, mate. He's unreal for his age, mate. He's playing well.
I think he's got a fantastic engine, full stop. Then you throw his age on top, and it's just even more impressive, isn't it? As McNabb tried a raking ball for Bell, who's operating a little bit more out on the right-hand side, the near side here at Darwin Football Stadium, and Kudo again closing down, just keeps going. Henderson leaves it for Reeve, who picks out Henderson, and that looked to go out for mine, and it has. Yep. So Kalitzis to Bilius. Awkward one for him, didn't get to his feet. He's got Windman in his back, but he will find McNabb. Sun in his eyes, but great control. Hazu for company, drops inside, one bounce shot.
Oh,
I thought that was in.
That looked like it was in, JD. Unlucky there. Again, we know what McNabb's capable of, and yeah, can't give him any room.
And that's better from him. didn't quite get the clean pair of heels that he thought he'd get on but at the first bounce just took the shot on, and it must have only been centimetres wide because it looked like it was going in from here. Ball's held up in the wind from Race.
Great header then by Roscoe.
Looks like he just started to cramp as he went up for that one too. The heat starting to show on some of these players that aren't getting regular 90 minutes for their sides as Maskey plays it for Newman. Turned over, Winman. Should have played Henderson, but they've fallen into their advantage, and this is for Ariku. He's got 4 on 2 here. Needs to pick out the right cross. 5 on 3 now. Ariku couldn't pick the right ball. There's a real opportunity there for Mindil. They were streaming forward, and Charles either needed to take the shot on or find the right pass, and in the end, Hellenic recovered well, but that's a warning shot across the bow.
Yeah, he looked a little bit calm coming into that 6-yard box. Unlucky there on Mindil.
So Henderson with the left foot. Martino heads into the back of Reeve and out for a goal kick. So we've seen a couple of forced substitutions with injury early in this second half. We know John Francis doesn't usually make changes early. He doesn't leave them as late as Lee Addison does for Port Darwin, but we haven't really seen too much by the way of tactical substitutions from either side yet. We thought we might see them a little bit earlier than usual, given the heat and the early pace that we saw in this fixture that brought 6 goals to us in the first half. It certainly will tell in the last 15-20 minutes, I'm sure.
And then we spoke about composure, JD. Obviously, the heat's a factor here, mate. So, again, teams sort of can hold the ball a bit easier and that sort of get away from these long balls will probably be better off.
So Maskey tries to do just that.
Ball.
That's a great ball for Martino. And Pencho did fantastically well for the Mindil Aces there to recover his ground, didn't he?
Great recovery.
And I talked before about McNabb and his work rate, but Johnny Pencho, his first season in the league as well for Mindil, fantastic work rate. Bell with another centre forwards challenge there on Will Reeve and has given away the free kick. And no sooner have we called for it than there has been a change coming here from John Francis. Warren Barry will be taking the pitch here, just doing the shorts up. It's a very short sides haircut that Warren Barry's running these days. Yeah. It's an interesting one from Warren. Who do you suspect he's coming on for? Bilius?
Obviously, he'd be sitting in the middle of the park, mate, so I'm not too sure on what Francis has got planned, but we knew that was going to come on at some stage of the game. I think he just sort of want him to settle the game a little bit and just play those feet.
Maskey with the step over after some good recovery work from the slip from Powell. It's over the top from Pencho. Martino's headed it. Kwarkanen rose strongly over Bilius, but that looked awkwardly when he fell on his shoulder there, the outstretched arm. You never like to see that because that's collarbone all day. And Powell will put this one out very sportingly. Hopefully it's just a burner for Kwarkanen. And it is Ross Bilius that's being called to the sideline here for the Blue and Whites of Hellenic, allowing Warren Barry to take the field. He's in no rush to get off, which I'm sure the players won't mind. A little breather at this stage of the afternoon. Nearly 20 minutes played, 20 and a half minutes played here in this second half. And that's the Barry. Sportingly given back by Mindil to Hellenic, and Martino plays it out to Newman. Barry with his first touch, and it's forward for McNabb. That was a nice ball into the channel. He's got Bell going into the box with 2 for company and Niembo at the back stick. Barry at the top of the box. McNabb going it all himself and puts it in the back of the net. Well done, Matthew McNabb. He's second for the afternoon. It's 4-2 now to Hellenic, but he's taken it on. He had options, but he's gone, no, I'll take this. Beats 3, puts it in the top corner. Can't argue with that, Pedro.
No, mate, and as we said, Woz has come on. He's played a nice, simple ball through to McNabb. McNabb's done what he does best and score goals, and it was a great finish.
So, substitution, 2 minutes later, we have a goal. If you're a coach, it's a masterstroke. So do we see the same response from the Mindil Aces that we've seen so often this season, and so far today, 3 times they've gone behind, 3 times they've responded in kind, in quick succession, but Henderson's lost that ball there, and that will go to Pullman. Doesn't quite make halfway on the full, but the bounce has beaten everyone at the first time of asking. Miffs is there to clean up. Pencho to Henderson, but that's taken by Mushigero. Kudo tried to step in. Mushigero's put it behind McNabb. He'd made a great run forward. Barry's timing was off after just coming into the game, but Henderson's played it to Kwarkinen, and he's released Winman, who's onside. Reinberg would have the wheels over Kalitzis, and he's gone left just as the ball's gone right. Just not on a wavelength there, winger and centre forward. That's gone higher than it has long from Pullman. He apologises to his team, and it's dropping out just short of halfway. Inside for Ariku. That was supposed to be a chip over the top for Reinberg, but it hasn't made it. Pullman's cleared it. Taking all the time in the world with this one. That's a better release. That will make halfway. Finds Niembo, unable to control. And Kwarkinen plays it back calmly to Reeve. Out to Pencho. He's been in space all afternoon in this second half, and Warren Barry has come straight through the back of Henderson. Pencho to Kwarkinen. Driving. Good fall forward for Reinberg. He's in the area. Great work, Kalitzis. Dangerous to go across the body there, but he stepped in and cut the ball out from Reinberg's toes and looking to drive back the other way. Well done, the young right back who's operating on the left for the short term now. McNabb.
Yeah, great tackle there by the young fella.
Maskey has space. This is always dangerous when he can go forward. Finds Bell. First time scuffed it, unfortunately, for McNabb. McNabb was in. Bell just didn't have a confident touch.
Yeah, unlucky Belly there. His tensions were right, but obviously he's sprayed it. But
so Henderson's down now as well. Only been on the park a matter of minutes. Suspect we may see the physio leave for the 4th time this afternoon. And you would expect it's a little bit early, but it may be an opportune time for us to just take the drinks break here in this second half. So Henderson undergoing a fitness test here under the supervision of both the physio and the referee. And most of the players taking the opportunity to go and take a drink. It is hot, still be over 30 degrees. Players just taking their position, ready to go. Kalitzis has thrown it forward, and Maskey, I think, was getting a mouth guard, but Pencho's not found race there. That would have been dangerous had Bell been charging in to close that one down, but a bit of a comedy of errors from the restart. Let's get back into the football now. Winman. Barry goes forward to Bell. Finds McNabb. Had Ufa company all afternoon, tries to get around him with pace and does well, cuts it back near post. Probably would have been better to go at the box there for Niembo, to be honest. Pedro, how did you see it?
yeah, look, he's done well to get around him, and just unlucky that no one was there to finish.
So the ball's come back the other way, but Martino will beat Ariku to the ball, and it will go out for a Hellenic throw. And Henderson, having received the treatment, has come back onto the pitch now. So we're 11 on 11 again. And Newman goes back and will take the throw here for Hellenic. It's a long throw to McNabb's feet. It's better. Finds Mushigero. Back to McNabb. Cuts inside, looking for an option. Only has Maskey, but Maskey's turned Kwarkanen, who's grabbed all of his shirt.
It's a great
Maskey,
turn.
brilliant.
Great ball.
Mushigero and Kudo. Mushigero's gone in Kudo's back there, but no foul given. Still got it.
Great tackle.
Oh, well done, Kudo. Recovered back. And Barry's got it. Finds McNabb. Being closed down by Windman. Well done, McNabb, though. Beats 2. He'll be confident now. Beats 3. There's got to be a shot at the end of this from McNabb. Is there? Oh, well done, Will Reeve. He probably should have squared it up, but you can understand why he's taken the shot on. When you beat 3 players like that, you're going to be selfish in the box, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Coming from a striker myself, mate, I would have done the same thing. He's unlucky there. He's definitely had a better second half. He's come on and he's definitely changed his game. He's put one away and his confidence has gone up.
So it has gone out for a corner in the end after all that, and it is Jeffrey Niembo that will take this here on the near side of Darwin Football Stadium. There's plenty of hands on knees here, though. There's a few tired bodies out there, and we've still got 20 minutes left to play. Niembo swings it in back post. Powell couldn't beat Kwarkanen, and McNabb's teed off on that one, and it has gone well over the goal and out of the playing area altogether. So race. Mushigero, but won by Pencho. Iriku attracted the attention of 3, and that releases Kwarkanen, who's played it back to Iriku, who beat Martino to the ball, got around him, but just stepped on the ball, and he's got a foul for his problems. Well done in the first instance there from Iriku, but Martino just lunged in and gave away the foul. So this will be an opportunity for Reinberg to swing in one of his dangerous free kicks. We've seen him already today. But with Kane McDowell off the pitch, Tavian Ludvigsen, their leading goal scorer, off the pitch, is it Iriku? Is it Will Reeve, the centre half? Who's your target here? So swung in, great ball, great area, but well done, Joel Powell. He was the only one tracking. That looked like a foul at the edge of the area, but play on. Mushigero must have got the ball, but Kudo again, brilliantly done, and Niembo couldn't find Bell. In the back of Kudo there was Mushigero. He's done that a couple of times today, just a little bit too enthusiastic, and you expect that Reinberg will be waved away from this for Mifsud to take.
Again, we're speaking about Kudo, mate. His work rate is unreal. He's given the midfielder run for the money.
So Reinberg's been fouled by Kalitzis, but that will be an advantage because Pencho's got the ball. But stepped in well there was Mushigero. Strong challenge both ways, and Kalitzis just releases that one. Well kept in there, but not kept in. Niembo did well to control that as he did, but it's gone out for a Mindil Aces throw. So Mifsud, Pencho just dropped off the ball by Mushigero there, and he'll get a yellow ticket for his trouble. Needless, really, Pedro.
Yeah, silly play there, mate. He wasn't going anywhere. He just needed to hold him up. Silly foul, and received the yellow card for his troubles.
So Mifsud does like swinging them in from these areas with his left peg. You expect he's going to be going back stick, and again you'd think in the area of Will Reeve and Charles Iriku.
Again, obviously, Hellenic's got the height advantage there, JD. I'll be looking at just dropping that ball on that 6-yard box. What's going on here?
So gone down with a lot of noise is Christopher Reinberg. There's a tip coming from the AR here as to what happened, but Kalitzis has got himself away from the area. That was the number 2 that was involved. I didn't see too much in it, but there was a lot of noise then from Christopher Reinberg.
Well, young Kalitzis has got to be careful here.
So, 5th time this afternoon we've seen the Physio Lee come on the pitch. Not exactly sure what happened, but chest or stomach by the look of it, but the referee's not exactly having a conversation with the number 2 Kalitsis. So I don't expect there'll be any ramifications from this. And he's going to walk off the pitch. There's some words exchanged with the number 2 Kalitsis from Hellenic, but all seems to be much to do about nothing. And all he's really done there, Pedro, is take a couple of minutes away from his Mindil Aces team's opportunity to square this one up.
It's appearing that he got elbowed, but not sure, JD. I missed it, so.
Well, he's got the look in his eye of a player that's going to look to get square, Pedro. So let's just keep an eye on the number 2 from Hellenic and the number 9 for Mindil Aces. And if their paths cross, I expect it's going to be tasty, mate.
Let's see how this goes.
So Mifsud, nice ball to the back post. Iriku Rose well, probably stole that one off Windman, but there was no name on it from the number 16. And Reinberg re-enters the fray. So the goal kick here. It's a good one with the breeze at its back. It's gone 50 on the fly, but it's won by Windman. Henderson's done well to win that over Maskey. McNabb, though, gets there first. Brilliant from McNabb. In the back was Ooh. Again, that looked like he brought him down after he didn't get there first, but nothing, says the referee. And to be fair, there's not much by way of protestation from Matthew McNabb either, as Tanu appears to be hurt, and I expect this will just be played out by Mindil Aces, and it is. Windman puts it into touch so that everybody can come and see what's going on with Tanu, who went down awkwardly after appearing to sort of reach around and grab McNabb, who'd stole a march through and got a ball that he didn't really have any right to get, but was then won back. And Lee, for the 6th time, enters the pitch for the Mindil Aces.
Yeah, she's definitely being tested today.
So who's receiving treatment on what looks to be a ankle? Some instructions are delivered by John Francis to Jeffrey Niembo, saying, mate, we've got 10 minutes to go and we're 1 in front. So who doesn't look good either, as he's being assisted from the field here by Pencho. Not able to put any weight through that left ankle. And you expect that this will be thrown back to Mindil by Warren Barry.
Looks like he's being sub, JD. He's not coming back on. He's asked for the sub. That's a big loss to Mindil there, mate.
Massive. He's had a fantastic afternoon on McNabb. And there's a number of changes coming here. So it's the 11 that's coming on. And that is Blake Ashton, the young 17-year-old player coming through the junior ranks, the almost endless junior ranks that Mindil Aces have. And then Christopher Reinberg, perhaps wisely being substituted, because as I said, he had the look in his eye like he wanted to get square. And replacing him is young Kelly, who's also got wheels. He's very quick and has got 1 goal so far this season. So plenty of youth on here now for Mindil Aces. And there'll be some changes as well for Hellenic in the near future, and one of the Toynan boys will be coming on. It's Espoir Mushigero that's been called.
Ronald.
And it's Ronald that will replace him. So good to see young fellas from both sides getting a run in this last 10 minutes. And hopefully they can bring some energy, bring some action, and maybe another goal or two, because we've only seen 1 here in this second half, but it was an all-action first half. Difficult to live up to those expectations in the second. And perhaps fittingly, after Reinberg's exited the pitch, it's Kalitsis, the number 2 from Hellenic, that leaves with him. And Malcolm Toinen goes on as well. So I'll refer to them by their first names, the 13 and the 11 for Hellenic, in a way to separate the two while they're on there. 11 being Ronald and 13 being Malcolm. So we will restart play here after quite an extended stoppage. Hellenic have passed that back to Muskie, who puts the ball forward, and there'll be no pressure to Mindil, as they will be able to restart play from Arlo Racing goal. He throws it out to Reeve. Muskie comes to close. Ball forward to Winman. Beat him at the first time, but it's opened up for Pencho, who is bombing on now. He switched sides. Cuts inside. Beats Martino. Plays it across, and both Kwarkin and Iriku left it for each other, and it went to no one. And that's well done there from Ashton. He's looking to drop the shoulder on Ronald. Gets the first time ball in. Didn't have a great deal on it, but Powell was taking no chances. Didn't leave that for the keeper, and he will look to play this very long forward to Bell. But who's there? Taiki Kudo. Plays it to Winman. We'll go back to Kudo. He'll look for Iriku. Couldn't quite find Iriku. You could see what he was trying to do, and it was the right ball there. But you feel that that's going to be the avenue of the greatest success for Mindil if they're to get square here in this last 10 minutes. Kwarkinen now. Got time to turn. He does. Looks for the option. Iriku wasn't showing. It's ball over the top for Kelly. Kelly pushing forward. He was held up by Malcolm, but nothing too much in it. Kelly just needed to get around him, and if he did, you feel that he gets there before Pullman comes out, because Pullman was not quick off his line. Long release, one bounce. Arlo Race hasn't come, but Will Reeves got there. You thought that Bell might just try and muscle him off that and get a shot on after that first bounce, but that was a huge release from Pullman. So Maskey's back on corner duty here. In no hurry, she'll have Maskey, showing all his years of experience. It's been a long time since he was a Lepalese youth international, but he does know how to play the game, and he's soaking up precious seconds for his team here as we're winding down past 84 minutes played here, and a 1-goal advantage to Hellenic. Maskey, near post, flat. Powell got there first, and I'm not sure that that didn't go in. I think it did. Off the shoulder of Martino, who couldn't get a clear clearance on it, but the AR had a good position. That's been dropped again there. I think we'll be coming back for a yellow card, I would have thought, because Pencho's been absolutely dropped. So in the chaos of it all, the header was won from the Sulav Maskey corner by Joel Powell. It went high and wide. Martino got there, couldn't get a head on it, got a shoulder. It didn't quite go over the line before it was cleared. Pencho was away and then dropped rather fortuitously by Jeffrey Niembo, who didn't get a ticket for his trouble. And it's a free kick to Mindil. Played short to Kwarkinen. And will be asked to retaken, as there's been conversation between AR and referee. They're happy that there was no goal scored, and the referee's now said play on. So we're into the last 5 minutes of regulation. Race with the ball at his feet. Out to Mifsud. Mifsud has time to turn. We'll look here for Eamon Kelly, but plays to Kudo. Back to Mifsud. Nice interchange of passing. Henderson's on it now. Back to Mifsud again. This is the best passage of play so far for Mindil this half, as he looks a little bit high and wide for Charles Ariku. But that's the first time they've put 6 passes together on the deck and moved the ball forward in 40 minutes of football. But it looked good, and it's a good sign with 5 minutes to go that there might be something more out of this game for the Mindil Aces, as Bell's come over the top, but Mifsud's won the header. Good body work from Maskey and Kudo. That's been a fantastic battle all afternoon. Pencho on McNabb. Flies in on Maskey. Picked up by Kwarkinen, and Maskey left it in there. Mindil wanted an advantage to be played, but it's gone back to Kwarkinen. Pencho. Outside of the boot. Nice to Mifsud. Turns. Referee's in the way. Slipping was Kelly, but first there was Hellenic. Thought Torner might have passed to his brother there, but not on. Mifsud's picked the pocket of Maskey, but Powell's there as always to clean up. Awkward one back for the second time from Powell to Pullman, and Ariku's got to press harder than that. He's got there. Got a touch on it to Kelly. Kelly to Mifsud. Mifsud first time. And scuffed the shot in the end. Iriku almost didn't believe that he was going to get there.
Yeah, keeper's lucky there with the clearance that he just delivered.
Well done, Levi Winman in the end there. Closing down Matthew McNabb and sussing out the opportunity. So found Bell with the throw from Martino. One again by Barry. Tries to find McNabb. He tries to roll Pencho. Makes space for himself, but Mifsud steps in. Can't get him. McNabb this time does put on a platter for Bell. You expect him to finish, and he does. That's 2 for Bell for the day. 5-3 for Hellenic, and you suspect it's curtains now in terms of a match for this one, as we're nearly 88 minutes played, and it moves Bell back to being clear at the top of the goal-scoring charts with his 23rd of the season.
Yeah, great work by McNabb then, and obviously unselfish. He's laid the ball to his belly, and Simon's delivered. Great finish.
It'd be frustrating for the Mindil Aces. They just felt they'd played themselves into some nice passages there. There was some good possession football played. They were working towards trying to get an equaliser, but that's how dangerous Hellenic are from all over the pitch. And as you saw there, McNabb never had eyes to take that shot on. Looked to really tee up Bell from very early on in that, and it was a killer ball that he put through. Bell couldn't help but score.
And we talk about finishes, JD. I mean, Mindil have had their clear cuts and opportunities to finish. But again, can't let Hellenic get away with not scoring, because I will bite back at you.
Kudos picked the pocket there of Warren Barry, and this is broken for Winman. He's put a ball across, picked out of the air by Pullman. Wasn't sure if it was a cross or a shot, but either way it was too close to the keeper. But just like that, we could have been 5-4 in a fantastic couple of minutes. But well done. Credit the keeper there.
Yeah, definitely a great save again.
So it's allowed to bounce. Ashton unconvincing with the header. Ronald's played back to Maskey. Stropped the shoulder twice on Ashton. Beats Henderson as well. Those white boots aren't even dirty from Sullivan. He's played it back to Powell. Gets it to Niembo. Plays it to Bell. Heavy touch from Bell. But Quarkinen's managed to win it, but only as far as Powell. Niembo. McNabb's called for the ball in the channel, but wisely. Ronald back to Bell. Stroking the ball around the midfield here, but a drive from Powell. Plays it out to Barry. He'll put a foot on it. Pencho's picked his pocket, though. That's the second time. Perhaps good that he's getting these minutes and getting the cobwebs out now, Barry, after a few weeks out. They played it forward, but Newman's there. Pullman skies that one. Very unconvincing, and it will go out for a throw, but there's no real urgency from any of the Mindil players, save for Levi Winman. Levi Winman, I should say. Who's Levi Winman? And we'll have a very late substitution, clearing the bench at the next out. So as you were, it's Uriku that's being substituted, having played in every match so far this season, along with Taiki Kudo for the Mindil Aces. It's coming from the pitch, and the number 12 coming on is Ochoa, and he'll see a couple of minutes of injury time with a very blonde mop of hair. The 1-2 from Kelly couldn't pick Winman back out, and it's gone out for a Hellenic goal kick. So as we are into injury time now, we look ahead for both of these sides. It's a tasty Friday night battle for Port Darwin against the Mindil Aces. Mindil need to get something from that game to assure themselves of second position on the ladder, and the people chasing them for that are Azuri, who come up against Hellenic on Saturday evening. So they'll know exactly what they need to do, as there's a clash there between Niembo and Mifsud, and Niembo has certainly come out worse for wear, but the ball's got there with Bell. He's played it out for Maskey. Maskey's just going to put this one out so that Niembo can seek some treatment. I think it was just a knee-on-knee collision, just a little bone bruising there, and we'll see the physio come on to give Jeffrey some treatment. So I was saying, we have one more match to go in the round here this evening. At 8 o'clock, we will see Port Darwin, currently in 5th with their season on life support, taking on the Casuarina Rowdies. So the Port Darwin, the equation is simple. They must win both their remaining fixtures. and they need Darwin Harts to beat Casuarina in the last match of the season for them to stand an opportunity, and then goal difference will be a deciding factor. So, as I said, it's never good when you start talking about mathematical, but the season is still alive and kicking. They will play the Mindil Aces in their last fixture, potentially with their season still alive, but Mindil, as I said, if they don't take anything, leave it into the fate of Hellenic doing something against Azuri to maintain their second spot, but they can't finish any lower than third. Azuri can finish second. They could finish as low as fourth if results didn't go their way. So all to play for in terms of the top four. The only team that's locked in the position in which they'll be finishing is, of course, Hellenic, who have been crowned our premiers and will be presented with their trophy next week, I believe. But this is giving us an opportunity to see all of the players from the Hellenic Athletic Football Club entering the pitch, and that's the number 24 that's coming on to replace Niembo, Joel Formoso. He'll get 60 seconds or so of play. There's been plenty of stoppages here in this second half, but there won't be too much more injury time, as sportingly the Mindil Aces put this one back, and it will be taken by Pullman as he comes through and picks it up now. Ball's gone high in the area of Barry and McNabb. McNabb with a nice touch to the substitute, but his pocket's picked by Henderson. Kudo. Forward to Ochoa. Releases it back to Kudo. Plenty of players losing their footing out there today. I know that pitch was watered a couple of hours ago, but that'll break for Kelly. Well done by Powell. He's beaten the keeper though, and he'll do well to just put this one out for a throw in. He's done well, and Newman's there, and they've put it out for a throw in the end. Well recovered, Joel Powell. Mifsud back to Quarkinen, beats Barry. Ball over, Kudo streaming in. Well done, Ronald. To Formosa. Ball released out. Well picked out there. Henderson to Kudo. Kudo. Can he square it up? Powell just read it. Body positioning was so fantastic. And an all-action challenge with Henderson as it breaks here for Ochoa. Quarkinen, quick feet. Still with Quarkinen. He's put a beautiful ball through to Kudo. Kudo, can he get there? Effort. He was offside. He has put everything out there, Taiki Kudo. From the first minute to the last, he has left nothing in the tank this afternoon. Just straight offside there, unfortunately. So we're in the dying embers of this one. And as you may have heard through our effects mics, there was some rather immediate feedback between Simon Bell and Coach John Francis. And Simon Bell's got a yellow ticket for his trouble. Ball's up. Quarkinen wins the header. And that is all she wrote in this one. 5 goals to 3. Hellenic back in the winner's circle after dropping points last week to Casuarina. They now take on Azuri next week in the last match of the season before the finals. And goal scorer is 6 in the first half. We had 2 goals in the second half, both at Hellenic to finish at 5-3. We'll be back shortly with some of the players for some post-match analysis. So make sure you stay with us, but it's finished 5-3. And for me, Pedro, solid second half performance without living up to the expectations that we had after the first half, which was fantastic.
Yeah, good to see a good game, mate, and pleasure to be here with JD, and it was a great game.
So we'll leave it there. We'll come back shortly with the post-game show, but it's Hellenic 5, Mindil Aces 3. So welcome back to Darwin Football Stadium here at Larrakia Park. Saw a very entertaining 5-3 win there for Hellenic, solidifying even further their minor premiership here as they get back in the winner's circle after dropping points last week to Casuarina. It was a very, very entertaining first half. Pedro Stefanidakis, who joins me this afternoon, along with Matthew McNabb from the winning side, Hellenic. Second half was probably a bit more of a drag them in, knock them out affair than the first half, but I don't know how it felt for you, Matt. Every time you guys seemed to kick ahead, Mindil would come back and pull one back. It seemed to be a real to and fro battle in that first half in particular.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bit of a tug of war. Couple mistakes from our end as well, but we'll learn from that. A few players out as well, so it's always tricky getting consistency when you don't have the same 11 every week.
Absolutely. And Pedro?
Oh, look, great game, by the way, McNabb. Obviously, a couple of chances in the first half you missed, mate, and then obviously you done the deal in the back there in the second half. Great finish and had a great game, mate.
Yeah, I like to get the harder chances.
Yeah.
No, we definitely made it hard for ourselves, but yeah, I mean, to get a win this close to semis as well is good for us after losing last week. Yep. So it's definitely a confidence booster for us. Yeah,
definitely. You needed that win so to get you going right for the finals, eh?
Yeah, and we needed to get Simon a couple of goals as well after last night. So yeah, it's good to get him on the score sheet.
Yeah. So Belly's back in front, JD.
He is. He's on 23 goals, so he has pulled back in front. But I did notice he was very upset with you taking on one of those there that you didn't square up. You made sure you got one across for him at the end there to put in.
Yeah, I know. I said a couple of times, I'm going to give you the ball next, and then next minute the sun, and there was a dog barking, there's cars, and I couldn't get it to him, so I got him one at the end.
Lovely stuff, mate. Look, from that perspective, obviously you roll on next week against Azuri. It's a shootout, so if you can do your job as a team at the back, you can make sure that Simon wraps up that golden boot race and head in with some confidence into finals. But I expect it's going to be not a 0-0 dour affair next week.
No, not at all. They're definitely the form team in the comp, so coming into finals, you want to have a bit of momentum, so you definitely want to win that game. Yeah, we'll see what players we can get back on the park and see how we go.
And how are you going with the injuries at the moment?
Not good, man. Unfortunately, like I did my ACL 2 years ago, I didn't get surgery, so it just plays up from time to time, and unfortunately it seems to be more often than not, but you can run it off, but you just can't walk for the next couple of days, but it's all good when you win.
Yep.
It's all good when you win. Couldn't say it better. So that's it here from this round 17 Men's Premier League clash. We'll be back at 8 o'clock this evening to round out the round with Port Darwin taking on Casuarina in what is a must-win match for Port Darwin. And Casuarina can sew up their spot in the 4 and potentially put some pressure on Azuri as well. From all of us here at FNT, on behalf of myself, John Dean, Pedro Stefanidakis, joined by Matthew McNabb, wherever you're watching us around the country or around the world, this has been the Darwin's Men Premier League on the Perform Network. Until next time, stay for now.